All right, first up today, seniors and COVID-19. As we all know from the medical experts, seniors are at a higher risk due to age and medical conditions. So how can we help keep them stay safe? And is it better for them to be cared for at home?
Ruth Busalaki is the president and owner of Synergy Home Care, and she's here with more information on simple tasks that we can all do to help aging loved ones, neighbors, and friends. Good morning to you, Ruth.
Hi, Ruth.
Good morning. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Ruth. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thanks for joining us today. It's interesting because as we talk about all that's going on in the world, it was the CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, that has identified a higher risk for people who are aging, living in communal settings. And that's why a lot of people are choosing right now to stay at home, right? Are you seeing that as pretty consistent with people that you talk to?
Yes, we are recognizing that ourselves, individuals who perhaps were considering moving to an assisted living or a communal living, have decided, at least at this point, to stay home, but they still need the support. So they're calling us to provide the options so that we can provide the supportive care and that they can maintain safety while still living at home.
Ruth, are you finding that during this pandemic that seniors are also more likely to be discharged earlier from places like hospitals as well as rehab facilities?
Yes, very much so. Those communal facilities and the hospitals and rehabs, they're doing everything they can to keep everyone safe. And so sometimes the best safe move is for them to be discharged a little bit early. But then that means they're going to need maybe a little bit more support when they do arrive home, at least temporarily until they get back on their feet. And that's where we can come in and provide that transitional return home care.
Yeah, and whether or not someone has just come home or just in general, they're nervous about doing errands. That's something that you do too. Like I think about my mom, and she has someone getting groceries for her just because she doesn't feel comfortable running those errands.
Absolutely. With their chronic conditions, seniors tend to be a little higher risk. So exactly, they're asking others to do errands. That's something that our caregivers can do and still provide extra safety measures so that we're not bringing any cross-contamination into their homes and that they are in fact staying safe. So the tips that we've been providing and adding to our practices, we at Synergy Home Care are suggesting for the general public when individuals go and visit their own parents, or even for yourself, Tiffany, for your mother. These are good tips.
Yeah, and I want to talk about some of those safety protocol tips, but I'm glad that Tiff brought up errands because I think that's one of the things that people don't recognize about home care and Synergy is the variety of things that you help with, from errands like Tiff said, which includes shopping and things like that, but also housekeeping, meal preparation, which can get lost. I think especially because it's a lot of work sometimes to prepare a meal, personal care, respite for the caregiver, all those life support kinds of things that help make it possible for someone to stay safe and be at home.
That's correct. We categorize our care in two different ways. We look at caregiving. Some individuals do need help with transferring and mobility and those types of things. But more often than not, people need what I call a personal assistant. They need someone to help them around the house, help them with some errands, make some meals, do some laundry, really just small things that really can mean a lot in their safety and ability to stay home independently.
Yeah. What are some of the new safety protocols that you guys have put in place? We saw in the video there, even wiping down surfaces, even the garbage can, things like that.
Correct. So the very first thing that our caregivers are doing is before they arrive to every assignment, they're checking their own temperature and they're checking their own symptoms. We are asking them to do that prior to any shift. And if they have any symptoms at all, they call us so we can avoid having them go into their assignment. Once they arrive, they're asked to monitor the symptoms of their client as well. Families really appreciate that because they don't always get to see their seniors every day or every week. So we're another set of eyes to check and monitor their symptoms. Once they arrive at the home, traditional protective equipment like masks, we are providing if our caregivers are any closer than 6 feet to our clients. Of course, hand washing. And if they are running errands, we're suggesting they take their shoes off. Or if they're perhaps running a lot of errands, they might even switch out their scrubs or their work uniform from one to another, just to really prevent any type of cross-contamination. One of the things that our families are very appreciative about is that we are wiping down those surfaces, probably more often than they ever were. Handles, door handles, refrigerator handles, sink handles, things that we all touch routinely. It's a great extra layer of safety and cross-contamination prevention.
It's wonderful, Ruth, and I know it's a good idea for families, loved ones, to talk about the cost advantages too of staying at home versus being in assisted living care. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And thanks for all the safety steps that you can take. You can call Synergy Home Care for a resource assessment of your potential benefits. Call this number. It's 414-763-8368. The visit can be virtual, or for more information on all their services, like we mentioned, errands, shopping, housekeeping, meal prep, personal care, or respite and end-of-life supportive care, check out their website at synergyhomecare.com.